Hello everyone. Today with the flowchart, I'll be explaining the process that how Amazon receives an inventory from a seller to their warehouses. So let's get started with that. So as you can see that uh, we have our Lucid chart open here. So I'm making the flowchart in the Lucid chart, and I've extensively watched this video here, and this pretty much explains how the process works, how the inventory actually received by Amazon people, Amazon associates, and how much they put in the work, so that they can store your units into their inventory or storage area, so that whenever a customer orders something, so that without any delay they can pack and ship that product to the customer. So there are many of the shapes over here, but pretty much we'll be using the process shape, the terminator shape, which we'll be using for start and end, and then we'll be using the preparation shape also, in only in the few times. To be honest, everything could be fall into process shape, but we'll be using preparation just to show that there are some manual works which is being done. And at one point of time that we'll be getting one or few decision shape as well. So without any delay, let's get started. So first we'll make our start symbol. This will start our process, and after this one we'll be going with the shipment arrives in the AFC facility, that is Amazon Fulfillment Center. So arrives at AFC. So one of the criteria that we are keeping here, that seller has packed everything clearly, even though there are many steps that we check inside the Amazon Fulfillment Center, that how much checks have been done on the shipment packages that has been sent by a seller. But here we are assuming, because I'm not explaining any kind of process that is associated with a seller, because our assignment is totally based on how Amazon receives your inventory. Otherwise it will be a really big video. So I'll assume that seller has sent a clear package according to the instruction that is given by Amazon facility. But we'll be seeing how people inside the Amazon facility, the associates, checks for that packages, and finally they put into the inventory. So it's a big long process. There are multiple steps that's been included in this, but I've tried to inculcate a few of the steps inside one box, because there are some process which goes simultaneously. For example, there is a process where the placement of barcode is seen, and then multiple barcode is seen. So that's pretty much um, giving an eye of work onto the package. So if I'm an associate, I'll be looking for both of the things at one go. So that's something which goes simultaneously. So this I have included in the one thing which we'll be looking at. So first of all, we can see that the shipment arrives at the Amazon fulfillment center, and after that, shipment uh, ID label is scanned. So that's the second part. So if you see that shipment ID is scanned. Now, why it is scanned? Because to see that if that shipment is actually meant to this particular Amazon facility or not. So that we have to check. Once we check that, we will be checking for multiple barcodes, if there are additional barcodes except that. To be honest, this both things again go simultaneously, but then to give a more clarity, because ID is something which is more specific and relies on a greater impact on the process. So that's why I've included separately. But assume that these both process go simultaneously, because they will be checking the ID. When they're checking the ID, they will be checking for the multiple barcodes as well. So that's how it works. So we'll be checking for multiple barcodes, barcodes, and if it is in a non-valid ID, non-valid ID. So what happens if it's a non-valid ID? Just a minute. So if it's a non-valid ID, we will be putting this to a Amazon problem solver. Now, this particular section is really important. Amazon problem solver is someone who deals with a lot of things which we'll be seeing. So this is one of the major element of this process, Amazon problem solver. So we are assuming that multiple barcodes and non-valid ID. So if it is yes, then it will go to Amazon problem solver. If it's a no, then it goes to the further process. So we'll put a no here. That's why I like Lucid Chart. I have used it many times, and it's pretty much faster than other softwares which I've used. You can just pretty much do everything in this, and it pretty much explain all the shapes and size as well here. So you are pretty much everything is self-explanatory. You do not need to additionally get through some of the process. And is going ahead. So now we'll be checking. So multiple barcodes and non-valid, if it happens, it goes to Amazon problem solver. Now we will be checking if we have like multiple boxes, and if it is a multiple boxes, it is taped or not. Multiple boxes taped or band-aid, something like that. And if labels are proper, labels not properly placed. So if this thing happens, so multiple boxes tape, if you find out, then yes, again, we get this to Amazon fulfillment problem solver. So that problem solver will take care of this. So we'll put yes here. So yes, after studying this video, I've made a rough sketch of this. According to that rough sketch, I've tried to memorize a little bit. So that's how I'm making this one. Otherwise, it is really hard to like get hold of all the process. But pretty much it is like that because there are like minute process that goes behind it. So this is that one. So first of all, we started as shipment arrives in AFC, shipment ID scan, and then multiple barcodes in non-valid ID. We check it. Yes, Amazon problem solver. Multiple boxes taped, labeled or not proper. We get into this one. So if suppose if everything passed from here as well, another process comes up, and that is like if box size is of Amazon standard or not. So again, if box size is not, we'll put a no here. If box size is not Amazon standard, then it goes to a special handling. That special handling take cares of, um, we'll just put, want to change the shape of this to this preparation mode. So this one is the preparation one. Why? Because it's kind of a manual one. So I'm just want to like, just to be a little bit distinctive, so I'm changing the shape of this. So now we have box size Amazon standard. If it is a no, then it goes to a special handling team. They will be, so this special handling team will be putting up everything according to these standards of Amazon. And suppose if everything passes out from here as well, then we will be having another process. So I'll just drag it up here. Um, so we'll be having another process of opening the box. So an associate will open the box. So that box will be opened, and after that, what happens is like they will be checking all the individual unit. So we'll be having a check of individual. So I'm just putting it down here. individual unit check. So in this individual unit check, after opening the box, we will be having, just a minute, I'll just try to put this arrow at the top because we'll be going from left to right. Yes, there we go. So special handling will be here. We'll be using this in one more stage. I'll just put it in a small, there we go. And after this one, we'll be checking the units. So every unit also has a scannable code, scannable barcode, and the label as well. Scannable barcodes and label. Scannable barcodes and label. So, and it also has to assure that um, no multiple barcode should be there. So suppose every unit should have a multiple barcode. So suppose if you have like suppose a plastic plates, so every plastic plate should have a scannable barcodes. If you stack up everything together, so they will be considering this as only one unit. So that not's gonna happen. So if that thing happens and if it passes, then it goes to additional preparation. Additional prep. So once it checks additional barcodes and label, we'll just put a question mark so that we are asking this question. No, then it passes on. And if it doesn't pass, so we again send this to problem solver. So we'll just change the question here, unit, no scannable barcodes, no scannable, no or multiple. No multiple scan barcodes, no proper label. So this could be in many situations. So this will come under the situation where a package, the label is on the top of the opening lid. So what happens, so because if the scannable barcodes are on the lid, so if somebody comes and opens a box with a knife, so they can destroy this, the scannable barcodes. And if it's folded and also everything is checked, so if it's not in the proper thing, it goes to amazing problem solver. And if it get passed, suppose if there are no multiple scannable barcodes, everything is okay, we have only single one properly placed in a flat surface of the box, then it goes to additional preparation. If it needs additional preparation, so additional preparation could be anything. For example, they check like if the box has if box doesn't have air pillows, or if box has like how to say, like Cheetos kind of air bubbles or something like that. So they do not put all of this. They go with something like air pillows, or like a cardboard boxes which is rubbery or sponges, so that it takes care of the things. So if it, yes, it goes to special handling, otherwise it again move. So once it moves, it again goes to a process which I'll put in the preparation one, that is six-sided quality check. Six-sided quality check. So here I'll put a no. So six-sided quality check is for the unit. So they will take out all the units. Suppose you are selling a mug. Suppose if you are selling this mug and your box has like 5 mugs of this, so you want to put this in the inventory. So whenever a customer orders, you will take this mug and everything. So they will check everything. They will check like this, like this, like this, and everything. They will check it. And after that, if it doesn't have on that, it again goes to the problem solver. But we'll not go with that because problem solver is like is in the distinct position to handle a bigger issue, so I'm only addressing bigger issue. So six quality check, but most of the time it passes, so they check for like if there's any breakage or something like that. They do the six quality side check, and after that they go for a title and unit verification. Title and unit verification. I'm just writing verify. Yeah. So title and unit verification means the title. For example, I'm selling this mug, and on the title I have wrote on the title I have wrote like steel plates. But it what it is, it's a mug, right? And if those are not, if those are not in proper way, so we again send this directly to the Amazon problem solver. So they will be addressing this issue, so that but all of this will cause delay. So we'll put one more here, and I'll try to adjust this to Amazon problem solver. And I'll try to put this one as well in the Amazon problem solver. There we go. So six quality check. So no, fail. We'll write fail, and we'll write pass here. We'll write no here. We'll write yes here. So it will pass it, and then title and unit verification. After that, what happens if it everything goes perfect, quality check is done, title unit verification is done, then we have pass title unit verification, yes, and then we will go to the item received. So finally, then we say that item is received. And after that, what happens? This item goes to this item goes for the stowing. So it is en route for stowing. Now here comes a thing that we need to check. So if suppose if there is a still any kind of problem, which and any issues in checking, so if any there is if after all of this checks also, if there is any issue that comes in checking of the items or units to be put in the inventory or the storage area, if there is any check-in issue, then it will again go to the problem solver. So that's why this problem solver has a vital role. Yeah, there we go. So we will put yes here, and if no, then we'll put one more here. That means units on conveyor belt, units on conveyor belt to be stored. Not is this. Okay, so this is how it is. So um, I'll explain once again. So once we have done the six-sided quality check, then we are going for the title and unit verification. That is also done. If it is not passing, it will all go to the Amazon problem solver. All right. After that, we will be putting up that item has been received, and it is going for the en route stowing. That is also done. And then after that, if there is any check-in issue, it will again go to the problem solver, and everything has perfectly come here. Let me just redo it, the top of it. If there is anything that has been now after everything, it will come to the conveyor belt, and it will go for the storage area. Now what happens in the storage area after storing it in the inventory? Its location is scanned. Inventory location is scanned and store. So if so we have to know that where my mug where my all the mug are, in which aisle, in which shelf, in which position. So those location has been tagged by scanning it. So once it comes out of the conveyor belt, it goes to the shelf, and that location has been specified. And after that, they will store this into a database. So we will say this as item data, let's say units data. That's it. And after that, this process ends. So this is how the fulfillment center works. So what happens when a customer orders? So let's see about that. So suppose now this is again a whole new process. It again has its own internal things, but I'm not going to explain everything. I'm just going to go on the surface of it. So customer puts order. After that, customer, sorry, customer puts an order. After that, order process. Order, how order will process? It will check with the database, right? So I'm going to put this just to make it more clear. And I'll join this one here. All right. So order process units data. And after that, what happens? That order is item is picked, item is picked, packed, and shipped. So this ends the process. So this is how uh, a whole scenario of Amazon fulfillment works. And if you need to add some of the things over here, so if we just there are not many things that we need to add, but I'll just try to um, just a minute, specify a few things. For example, this whole process is inventory inventory management. This whole process is inventory management, and then and this whole process shipment arrival, and after that, the final thing that we have is the order processing. So order processing, that so this will be like all the things are having like order processing. We have the how when a customer order puts an order, so how it gets data from the database about the item, and that item is then picked, packed, and then go for this one. And this is the inventory management, where whole of the inventory is managed about with the quality checks and everything. Additional preparation if needed, special handling team does that. And so I'll try to drag this up a bit here so that it includes all of this one here. That's it. And the above one is like how whenever items comes in here, how they treat it. So shipment arrival process is here, then inventory management is here. After that, order processing is here. So this is how Amazon fulfillment works. Now I totally understand there are many things that goes behind here. Those are really minute things, but I think all of these are covered over here. For example, If I start once again, if I explain it, then shipment arrives at Amazon fulfillment facility, and then after that, shipment ID is scanned. We check for multiple barcodes and non-valid ID. If it's a non-valid ID, Amazon problem solves it by sending into their designated one or sending back to the seller. Then if it not, then we go for the multiple boxes. If it's taped or not, labels are not proper, then again it's go for the problem solver. No, then we check for the box size if it is in Amazon standard. If not, then it goes to the special handling team, if you see here. So yeah, I'm trying to put this no over here, but yeah, that's okay. Um, yeah, so it goes to special handling team. After that, they open the boxes. After opening the boxes, they do the individual unit check. After doing the individual unit check, they go for the unit and a non-multiple scannable. I'll try to put this in a bigger one. So unit, no multiple scannable barcodes, and then no proper label. Again, it goes to the problem solver. If not, then it goes for additional preparation. If it needs additional packaging preparation so that item should be safe, it goes to special handling team again. And yes, one more final thing that we need to see, that after everything, Amazon problem solver puts everything back here. So this connects here so that after problem is solved, the items comes back to the conveyor belt because all items have been done then. They always do the six-sided check quality and everything. It comes back over here. Um, so that's how it is. And then special additional handling needed. And after this one, it does for the six quality site check, title unit verification, item received en route, stowing any check issues. It goes back to the problem solver. It comes back over here, conveyor belt. Inventory location is scanned and stored, and the units data is stored over here. Customer puts an order processed through the units data, and then an item is picked, packed, and shipped, and that's it. So that's how this Amazon Fulfillment Center works. And I hope you like the video. And of course, my professor is also watching this, so do provide the feedback. I hope I tried to cover each and every element of this one. Thank you so much. Have a good night.